Come here. I'm talking here. You take off with you, or I will nick you for breaching the peace and Brooklyn. No way.
At the end of the story, it's worked out better than I think anybody could have hoped for. The injunctions totally collapsed. Edo had to fly in executives from the States, hire another group of solicitors to offer substantial cash payments to the individuals that they'd targeted for an injunction.
Every one of the 35 charges was dropped. The protests still continued. And if you want to join in, they're every Wednesday between 4 and 6.
What have the police actually called it? Right, now this is what the police have variously referred to as a crib sheet or a spotter card. Cards used by the forward intelligence teams.
Well, but you're on there, aren't you?
I am on there, yes. In fact, I'm next to Mark Thomas of Channel 4 fame.
I know of cases of people on an anti-war demo. You know, wherever they went, this team of police officers would walk around filming them openly, and all they were protester. Yeah, no history of violence or anything like that. Protester.
Where Dixon have got green, if you like, where community policing meets public demonstrations is forward intelligence team.
This very sort of overt form of surveillance that was pioneered by the forward intelligence teams, whose job it was to follow protesters around, follow activists around, be outside their houses, sort of catching criminals. The role of the police goes to following people about in case they commit criminal offences.
I mean, would you feel comfortable if someone came up and had a camera right here or this close? I mean, it's quite intimidating because it's been done to me.
Sure.
I mean, how close are they allowed to get?
If they're putting the camera right in the face of everybody, then frankly, I don't know, because I wasn't there, but I would suggest that probably isn't entirely what they're meant to do. You're in a public place. There's every chance, especially if you're in London, that actually there's some CCTV cameras on top of the local lamppost taking your picture anyway.
People all over the world have fought to have these basic rights. We in Britain, who have enjoyed them for so long, are a little bit too complacent, and I think the danger is that we might wake up one day when it's a little too late and say, hang on a minute, what happened to the right not to be snooped upon all the time?
Welcome to Counter-Terror World. This is an annual security and surveillance trade fair, where an entire industry capitalizes on our fear. Anyone can buy the very latest in high-tech snooping equipment, including cameras that can see through your clothes.
So you've got a gun?
Yeah.
Clearly, yeah. And you're going to, so you just conceal it?
Yeah, well...
And that's the gun. What's that? You got a gun here as well?
It might be a little bit of what they call glint.
It's saying you've got 2 guns here, and it's got 3 now.
It takes a while for it to adjust. And,
okay.
You know, this is like a temporary setting that we had 2 days to set up.
Here, you can see that dark spot. That's the gun.
It could be something else.
Well, it could be something else. We can't tell you what it is, but we can tell you that there's something there. And as you walk closer to the camera, it might pick it up. Yeah.
No, it's got something. There you go.
Yeah.
So, and then there is the weapon.
Yeah.
That comes out. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
And that's an actual weapon.
So you just have cameras everywhere.
The only thing we've got to worry about is power.
Not worried about privacy at all.
No, a camera will go anywhere. Right. But we need power to power them.
Right. So you're tracking the guy all the time.
Yeah.
You're seeing everything he's seeing.
Yeah.
And you can probably see him.
Yes.
From a camera.
Yes.
Up there.
This wasn't a surveillance product, but it's more exciting in this field. I've got to be honest. There's more opportunities in this.
So what? It sort of enables the police to shoot people.
That's him, shoot him. Yeah. But at least this way they can say, no, that's not him.
That's the wrong one.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere that you think that there shouldn't be security?
If for example, you know, bona fide students could not use a toilet because other students were burning down the toilet, then I would probably recommend that we look at the hand basins and exclude the urinals and cubicles.
Okay. And do you think there's ever going to come a point where we have too many CCTV cameras, or is that just impossible?
You know, if you've nothing to hide, why would you be afraid of it?
So you do subscribe to that belief? You've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear?
Yeah.
Or have you never had anything to hide?
Good question.
And if there's 4 million cameras-ish in the UK, that means it's 250,000 operators needed. Which isn't the case. So how many are there, do you think?
Well, operators?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
What qualification do you need to get to work in a control room?
None whatsoever. Ostensibly, you could go straight to the job.
On the first day?
On the first day, you could be there, getting hold of the controls and working cameras. Now, that's not necessarily good.
How do we reconcile liberty with security in this new world? Let me say something to you. I don't want to live in a police state or a Big Brother society or put any of our essential freedoms in jeopardy.
In 1787, an architect invented the perfect prison and called it the panopticon. The prisoners would be seen wherever they were, but would never know if they were being watched. It was designed to control the prisoners using surveillance alone, and was seen as the ultimate power of mind over mind. No panopticons were ever built, but Tony Blair's most expensive legacy will be to have turned the entire country into a perfect prison. The government wants to put a tracking device in every car on the road. Surveillance cameras are being connected to directional microphones, as well as facial recognition software, so they will always know where you are and what you are saying.
But we can make choices in spending too. And instead of wasting hundreds of millions of pounds on compulsory identity cards as the Tory right demand, let that money provide thousands of extra police officers on the beat where they can actually protect people.
But now New Labour want to spend billions of our money on compulsory ID cards.
We will pursue identity cards because they're right. We think it is legitimate and right in this day and age to ask people to carry identity cards. It is the right thing to do.
Within a few years, you will be forced to carry an ID card, which will store a goldmine of private information, which will be uploaded to a database called the National Identity Register. Every time you interact with the state, it will form an audit trail, so the government will know your entire life's history. This will be linked to your medical records, your school records, and your DNA structure. Gordon Brown has already said that he will sell your information on to big businesses, whereas computer hackers will be able to get it for free.
Your address, every time you move, you must tell the National Identity Register.
If you fail your 11 plus, that'll be on the database.
Buy a fishing license.
If you're a member of a trade union.
Go to the pharmacy to get drugs for your arthritis.
If you've got HIV/AIDS, that'll be on the database.
Put your child in school.
Then, when you apply for a job, they'll look at you, push you out, never consider you. And that is the police state.
Why should they have this information? Why should they know? What do they want with it? Why can't they just butt out of it?
Hello, how are you?
The information held on you and your children will be used to stop crimes being committed even before they've taken place.
Very nice.
If we're not prepared to predict and intervene far more early, then there are children that are going to grow up in families that we know perfectly well are completely dysfunctional, and the kids a few years down the line are going to be a menace to society and actually a threat to themselves.
I'm interested in how early, because a lot of the evidence suggests you need to be getting in there while the child is still in nappies, frankly.
Or pre-birth, even.
But if you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear.
Mr. Blair, please.
The danger that I fear in the great data collection, the database, is incompetence.
Computer says no.
If the computer says no in a society where virtually everything that you do relies on the computer saying yes, what is that? Is that a one-off event, or is that from that point on, until you sort it out, you're a non-person?
In the past, they have had to justify each interference with our privacy and our liberty, and now we will have to justify our existence, our identity to them.
To say if we introduce identity cards, which after all large numbers of countries in the world have, that this is an authoritarian act is absurd. It is truly absurd.
Lots of other countries do have ID cards, but in most cases they were forced onto the people.